definitely recording. Right, so yeah, so I thought today I would do a quiz, get a bit of interaction with the group, but also I thought I'd start off with a bit of news and a bit of fun as well, just to start off with. Well, some people think it's fun anyway. It depends if you find these things fun. But these three computers here, they're quite significant to my history in I suppose in IT or in the computing world. The first one was, does anyone recognize what that is? What model that is? So I'm showing my age here.
It's not a ZX81, is it?
It is.
Oh,
Well done, Leanne.
so my age.
And it came out in 1981. So
Oh my.
yeah. So I'm sure some of you weren't born then, and obviously Jim and Peter, they remember obviously the reel-to-reel computers of of NASA. That's their period. But yeah, people of my age remember personal computers. So remember the ZX81. And my next computer, I mean, the thing about the ZX81 was it had a keyboard which was flat. So we had to really press hard on the keyboard to make it print something. So it was a computer, and it had 1 kilobyte of memory. And I remember getting like a 16 kilobyte RAM pack to expand its memory. So it was incredibly small. I mean, our phones these days would eat these for breakfast. Then the next one was a ZX Spectrum, which I got a few years later, secondhand, I think. And that was already 16 kilobytes of memory. And I bought a RAM pack, which gave me another 32 kilobytes of memory. So I could play some decent games with it. I could play, you know, some, and also I could play in color as well, because the ZX81, it was all in black and white. There was no color to it. So the Spectrum, as the name suggests, it was a color machine, or it was like a real miracle. We could play computer games in Technicolor. And I did a bit of programming on both computers, very in BASIC, which was, you know, that was the programming language of the time. And as the name suggests, it was really basic, quite easy to understand. And I talked to it quite well. And the third computer, does anyone recognize that? The third one there? Does anyone?
Commodore 64?
Ooh.
No.
Not quite, not quite. Oh. Good guess, because it has a proper keyboard. So the Commodore 64 did have a proper keyboard. So I'll give you that. Any other guesses?
Was it one of Lord Sugar's early attempts?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Atari.
That's a good guess as well, Peter. Atari, no, I mean, Ataris were more like games consoles. This was a BBC microcomputer. So those were like, basically, let's go back to that. Those were used in schools. So most schools, when I first did computer studies in about 1983, we learned on BBC micrcomputers, and they were the workhorse. They were you know, like fantastic at the time. And I did all my coursework on a BBC Micro, and I did my exam as well, my GCSE in computer studies on a BBC Micro. Had to make up a program and run it. Can't remember what it was. I saved on a floppy disk, if you remember those. That's talking about back. So yeah, so it shows you how things have changed a bit. I mean, our phones now can pretty much, you know, I think even the most rubbish phone is about 10 times or 20 times faster than these machines. Right, so to me, so I thought I'd just go over quickly what I do, because I don't think I necessarily go over it very much in presentations. So I do digital marketing services. And there's two sides to what I do. There's a done for you service. So as the name suggests, I do it for you. And also I deliver training as well. So I train people on how to use digital marketing in their business, because it can be, quite a jump for some people. But these days, it's so essential that you have some knowledge of it. So that service particularly I find quite satisfying, because you can bring someone up from not knowing anything about it at all to like a working knowledge of that. So the services I provide are Facebook or Meta advertising. Now, just to explain Meta, because I suppose, have you heard of this new name for Facebook, Meta? So this, I mentioned this because this could be confusing to some people when they go to run ads or use Facebook, because Facebook are now replacing the word Facebook with Meta. So people will see what was previously a Meta thing is now, sorry, previously a Facebook thing is now a Meta thing. So Meta is basically the same as Facebook. It's the products and the tools that were previously called Facebook tools in Facebook ads are now called Meta. So don't worry that it's something different. It's the same thing basically. And what they've done is they've done it so that Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger are all under one umbrella. So I guess they're thinking that Facebook advertising to people would just mean that they just do Facebook, but it doesn't. It means they do Facebook, Instagram, and all the other platforms too. I also do Google advertising and also do local search engine optimization. So just to reiterate, Facebook or Meta advertising, what it includes. So it includes the Facebook platform, Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp. WhatsApp is kind of in the process of becoming an advertising platform. I think in the USA it's more prevalent, but it's only a matter of time before you get WhatsApp ads all over the place. Google advertising. This includes, people know Google mainly because of Google search. When you search for something, you search for an answer to a question, or you're searching for the local plumber, you type it into Google and you get the results, either a organic result or a paid result. Then you have display network, which is a bit less known, but you've probably come across it. When you've visited a website, for example, and then when you go on another website, you start seeing ads for that product that was on the other website. That's the display network in action. That's a series of affiliates of Google, of websites that are affiliated to Google, where your ads can be shown. So, for example, like CNN, they have a website, and you could appear on CNN's website as an advert if you paid for advertising, and if that website was relevant to your particular business. So you can be on some quite big websites with the display network. Then you have YouTube, and you probably come across it on YouTube when you're watching a video, and then you have the video at the beginning that you can skip. There's those types of videos, and then there's videos that just show permanently at the bottom of the video and advertising something. You've got those as well, and the people who make the videos, they get a percentage of the advertising revenue when they have ads shown on their videos. And you have Gmail ads as well, which is very rare, underused, but it's probably quite a good way of advertising, because so many people have got Gmail now, and they're starting to roll out more Gmail ads. And these last three can be quite cost effective. It can be quite expensive with search ads, but these last three, because they're relatively underused, are not too bad in price. So this is blowing my own trumpet here. So my clients have included in the past and present Rick Stein Restaurants, D&D London, who own what was the Marquee, and now it's called 100 Wardour Street, and Quaglino's and Madison in the centre of London. And Joseph Seibel, who sell, it's a German company who sell shoes, boots, etc. You'll see their stuff in John Lewis, if you're a John Lewis shopper. Okay, so that's enough about that. So I'll go to the quiz. See how sharp you're feeling today, how brainy you are. Some of these questions are similar to the ones I asked at Christmas. So if you were here at Christmas, then you've got an advantage. Right. And I did create this quiz myself. So let's see how it goes. Right. So the first question is, you only need a Facebook personal profile to run Facebook ads. True or false? Who's going to guess?
True.
True, yes. Oh no, my apologies, false. Sorry. I keep feeling it's false. Yes, you do need a Facebook profile, but also you need a Facebook page as well.
Yeah.
Because you can't run ads from the personal profile. But you do need a personal profile to have a Facebook ad, if that makes sense. So at the very least, you need a personal profile to have anything. But you do need a Facebook page, a business page to run Facebook ads from. And the same is true of Instagram as well. You need an Instagram business page to run Instagram ads. And you need a WhatsApp business page to run WhatsApp ads. So that's false. And next question is, you can't link your Instagram business page and Facebook page together. True or false?
I'd say false.
It'll be false, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be false.
Yes. Yeah, you can link them both together. That's true. If I don't have an Instagram account, I can't show my ads on Instagram. So basically, you don't have an Instagram account, but you're running Facebook ads, but you want them to show on Instagram. Do you need an Instagram account?
I would go with false again.
I would say you do need one.
No, I don't think you need one.
I think
yeah.
you do.
Yes, it's false. Yeah, because if you can show ads on Instagram as a placement without needing a Facebook, without needing an Instagram account, an Instagram page. If you choose it as a placement in your ads, it will show on Instagram, but it will promote your Facebook page rather than your Instagram page. So something to note. Right. Next question is, I have to schedule my Facebook posts using a third-party application. True or false?
True.
False.
Oh no, business you can do
False.
it.
Yeah.
False. In business pages you can do it, can't you?
Yes, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, with I need to rewrite that because I mean more to do with Facebook business posts. That was for Facebook page posts. You don't have to use a third-party application, but if it's a organic page, then you will need a third-party application because there's no native way to post organic posts on Facebook. But if you have a business page, you can use Facebook's own tools to post. Right. Next question is, you can target visitors to your website with Facebook ads. True or false?
True.
True.
Yes. Yes.
True.
Yeah. All saying true?
Yep.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Next question is, you cannot collect email addresses with Facebook ads. True or false?
True. True.
That's false. You can
False,
collect.
yeah.
Yeah,
You can collect them.
you can collect them. Yeah. If you run a Facebook lead ad, you can collect email addresses with a Facebook ad. And also you can collect phone numbers, date of birth. You can ask questions. You can even do a little quiz. You have about 10. You can ask about 10 questions, and you can engage with people with Facebook with one of their lead ads. Next question is, you can only promote an existing post, and that is a post which is on a Facebook page, using the booster button. True or false?
True.
I'm going to say false.
Yeah, it's false. It's false. Yeah. One good thing about the boost button, if you're familiar with it, is that it's very easy to, if you have a post which is doing really well, you can just click boost and it will go to like the audience you want, and you can basically make it into an ad. But you do have limitations with it. But you can also, in Facebook's dashboard, ads dashboard, you can target people. You can use ads use posts that you've posted before and turn them into ads as well. And yet, and also you have more targeting capability as well, because you're using the full tools of Facebook. So you have to, a common action with people when they have a Facebook post which is performing well is to boost it, which is good. But if you go into the back dashboard or the back office of Facebook and use their tools, you've got a lot more targeting capability for that ad, and you can reach a lot more people and be a lot more targeted. So that's a false. Next question is for GDPR fans. You don't need a privacy policy to run a lead generation ad on Facebook because it has its own privacy policy. So you don't need a privacy policy to run the lead generation ad on Facebook because Facebook itself has its own privacy policy. True or false?
I think that's probably true.
I
Okay,
reckon it's
true.
probably true.
Yeah.
True, because they couldn't rely on people having their own lead generation policy, and they wouldn't check it anyway. So I think true.
Well, actually, it's false. It's false. You do need a privacy policy of your own to run lead generation ads. You can't depend just on Facebook's privacy policy, and they won't let you run an ad without one. So usually you can use a link from your website which has a privacy policy, and then just put it in the ad itself. But it covers them.
Mike, do they actually check that then somehow? Do they actually check that then somehow, or do they just ask whether you've got one?
Yeah, you have to put it.
Prove you've got one.
Yeah, you have to have one, but they don't check how good it is. I mean, you could have a privacy policy which was a paragraph long. As long as it says privacy policy, usually you can get away with it. Not that I recommend that, of course. You should have a good privacy policy, obviously. But yeah, it's also good as well. It covers you. So all Facebook advertiser features are available via the boost button. True or false?
True.
But false.
False.
Yeah. You do have a lot of features on with the boost button, actually more than you used to have, but you don't have all the features. So you basically have probably about 75% of the features for the boost button, but there's another 25% that you don't have access to. So it's false. Next question is, you can track Facebook advertising results on your mobile. True or false?
True.
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 Yeah.
True, yeah.
Yeah, there's a mobile app, a Facebook ads app, which you can track your results with. And it's very, very handy. Again, you can't go into too much detail with it, and you can't really manage a campaign with it fully, but it gives you an idea. If you're just curious, like how's you going today, have a look at the app, and then it'll give you an idea. But if you want to make changes or want to get real data and information about how the ad's doing, you do need to use the full Facebook ads dashboard. But you can track the results. Next question is, Facebook can track how many pages somebody views on your website. True or false? So someone goes to a website, one person looks at 4 pages, another person looks at 10. Can they track those 2 people separately?
Mm.
Possibly.
Je ne sais pas.
It's a bit of a cruel one, because it's one that probably only I would know the answer to. But yes, you can track how many pages somebody views on your website. If you think about it, someone who has just looked at 1 page, maybe not so interested, but someone who's maybe looked at 5 or 6 pages, they're a lot more interested, you would imagine, and therefore they'd be good to target again. So rather than retargeting people who've just looked at a web page just the once, you can target people who've looked at your web page 2, 3 or 4 times. And different pages, that is, as well, not just the one page, but different pages on your website.
Does that include how long they've spent on the pages?
Yes. Yeah, you can measure that as well. Yeah, you can create audiences of people on Facebook who've spent a certain amount of time on your web page, and you can also create an audience of people who've gone to your website and they've looked at more than 1 page, looked at 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages, and target those people rather than targeting people who just went to your website and then bounced off again. So it's very handy. So your targeting really gets more laser focused when you're targeting those people. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, so they can track it. That's why it's so important to have the Facebook tracking code on your website, because it's always tracking what people are doing. Facebook will track what people are doing on there. It's a bit, people sometimes have a problem with it because it's invading privacy to a certain extent, but it's good for advertising, because the more Facebook know about your website visitors, the more they can create an audience that's more relevant to you. So when you run an ad, the people who receive the ads are going to be more receptive. So it's a fine balance between the two. Right, next question is, with Facebook ads, you can split test your ad copy to find out which copy works the best. True or false?
I think I've
True.
heard you say that before. True.
Mm.
Yeah, I did mention that in the last
I'd
one.
say true, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is such a great feature, because in the past you put an ad out in a newspaper or on the radio, and you just cross your fingers and hope for the best that that particular ad or its wording would be receptive to people would be receptive to. But now, if you can do a campaign now where you can have 2 or 3 different versions of the ad copy, and Facebook will show the ad most to the copy that's getting the most response. So it'll pick a winner for your copy. You know, it'll tell you, it'll start not showing the copy that isn't doing so well, and the algorithm of Facebook will then start showing the ad with the best copy to, or the copy that people are receptive to the people who are being targeted with the ad. So which increases the the possibility and the likelihood that people are going to respond to your ad. So that's a great feature with but not just with Facebook, but most of the PPC pay-per-click platforms do it, and some email platforms do it as well, do split testing. So next question is, your Facebook ad won't appear outside of Facebook, Instagram or WhatsApp. So when you run a Facebook ad, it won't appear, it'll only appear on those platforms. It won't appear anywhere else. True or false?
I'm going to go with true.
I would think true.
Say true as well.
Good answers, but it's false. It will appear outside of Facebook, Instagram or WhatsApp if you want it to. It will. Facebook has something called the Audience Network, which is a series of websites similar to Google that are affiliated to Facebook, and your ads can show on those websites as well. So you could be on a website and you find that your ad is on that website. You're looking at your own ad. You can switch that off. You can customize where your ad is shown. I personally not a massive fan of those websites which are outside of Facebook, Instagram or WhatsApp because they're not always high quality, to be honest. But you can customize it so they don't show on there. You can customize an ad so it doesn't show on Facebook. You can just have it shown on Instagram if you wanted to. In fact, yesterday I ran a campaign that just went to Instagram as an Instagram story and didn't show anywhere else. So you can customize it according to what you want, what your goal is for that particular campaign. Next question is, you can't target business owners with Facebook ads, true or false? So basically, can you use Facebook as a business to business advertising platform?
I would say true.
Yeah, true.
Yes. Obviously, LinkedIn is getting quite popular, and it's excellent for business to business, but they just don't really have the information that Facebook have about people or businesses. There's so many different interests you can target with Facebook that business owners are pretty easy to target. So even if you have a business to business type of business, you still can use Facebook to target other businesses, as well as you can target customers. I mean, it's perfect for obviously business to consumer, B2Cs, but B2Bs, that works well as well. So that is false. And the last question is, you can sell alcohol products on Facebook, true or false? Can you sell booze on Facebook?
I'm sure I've seen it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an alcoholic, you'll see it. Like Jim.
Yeah, don't mind to you sort of people have adverts on there.
Yeah, that is true. It's a thorny area. It's because you can sell alcohol if you're targeting. Basically, you need to know the laws of the land of the area you're targeting. So if you have an alcohol product and you want to target Saudi Arabia, then basically you can't, because the laws of the land would be against that. But as long as the people you're targeting or the audience you're targeting are over 18, you can alcohol, and in the UK that is, because the laws of the land of the UK is that if you're over 18, you can drink alcohol. As long as you're over 18, then you can target alcohol products on Facebook. You target people with alcohol products on Facebook. The only where people get tripped up is that Facebook shops, where people have a Facebook shop and they have alcohol products, they're not allowed to sell alcohol from there. If you put alcohol on those and make it into an ad, it'll be rejected. So it has to be just purely an ad, not something in your shop. So you have an off license and you want to sell booze, then it's going to be rejected. So, but if you're an off license and you're creating an ad which includes booze, then you'll be fine. So, just in case, that's a bit random, that one, but that's. But it shows you that the laws of Facebook can be a bit funny sometimes on their rules. So, any questions?
Any questions for Mike? Someone must have a question.
Can you just explain again about the display network, how that works? I scribbled it down, but I'm not sure that I actually got that right, and I've never come across that before.
Yeah. So display network it's similar to the search in the sense that you can target keywords, but also you can target people's interests. So it's a bit similar to Facebook ads. So you can, for example, if you have a restaurant, you can target people who like to go out dining. And the ad appears not as a search result. So with search ads, you search for something for a plumber, and an ad for a plumber comes up. With the display network, if it was a plumber, for example, then you'd go on a website, and if that website accepted ads, then you'd see an ad for that plumber somewhere on that website saying call Jim, Jim's plumbing company, or Fred's plumbing company.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be a search result, it would be actually on the website you're looking at.
Yeah. Okay, associated.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
It'd be on relevant, also relevance, relevant ads, relevant websites as well. Like if you had a holiday company, then, well, maybe not a holiday company, but say a taxi company. You did airport transfers. You could put your ad on a website which was a travel website.
Right.
Yeah, you could tell Google they want to go on websites to do with travel. You can even pick particular websites as well. So if you wanted to appear on CNN, you could choose that as a placement for your ad. So
yeah, that's clear. Thank you.
Question.
Yeah.
Great. Any more questions for Mike, or are we all done? No? Well then, thank you very much indeed, Mike. Thank you for your presentation this morning. Your encyclopedic knowledge of social media puts the rest of us in the shade. Brilliant, fantastic.